Welcome to Python tutorial, and in this module we are going to be talking about strings. So we've actually talked about string in other tutorial where we explained string is a sequence of characters enclosed in a double or in a single quote. So it's actually any sequence of characters, so I can just say, okay, this is a character. So this is a character. They are enclosed within a double quote. It's a double quote, or it can actually just be a single quote like this on both ends. So it is very invalid to use a syntax like this. It's very wrong. Okay, let's dive right in. So the first thing to do is always to add our shebang line. So Python 3, for those of you that are actually using Linux like me, you can actually go ahead, probably maybe you're using Python 2 which is no longer supported. Your home can just be Python 2, but most of this syntax I'm using in this tutorial is not going to work for Python 2 because these are actually real Python 3. Let's go ahead and work with strings. So I'm just going to have a string. So let's say statement equals to, so we're just going to make a little statement with the string. Okay, let's just say I love Python, and that's all we got. So this is actually a string. We can verify it by simply using type, so we don't need to waste our time on there. We used to hit, so we can just say print statement, and this is just going to print the, so I'm just going to use Python 3 string, I think it's strings.py. okay, it's a I love Python, so because that's actually what we print to the face. So let me just show you something real quick. So under this little statement, there are actually lots inside it. There are a lot of method that is being embedded inside it, and we are going to be checking the fews that we can check because there are actually a lots more of methods right there. So to get this thing real quick, if you do statement dots, so immediately I actually put dot, you see like this is actually a lot of methods that is being embedded inside this statement, and each of them is actually have what is doing one by one. So let's just go ahead and look at some of it that actually makes sense. So we can say string dirt, so you see capitalize, you see count, we see index, see format, is this, is that, we see is upper, we see lower, we see a lot of that. So let's just see how we can convert a string into lowercase, uppercase, and more. So to simply convert a string into lowercase and uppercase, we can just say print statement dot, so I think capitalize. So capitalize is actually a function, so we call it like a function like that. Let's just go ahead and run this through. So sorry, I use capitalize, and that should be upper since we are using uppercase, so this is just confusing. Okay, so you can see these strings are actually changed to uppercase. So I love Python, and it's really easy for us to print statement dot lowercase too. So this is just going to convert everything into lowercase. So let me just for a second write this in uppercase Python. So for some reason, if I run this, let's see, it's now being converted into a lowercase. So this is how you can get the uppercase can convert a string into uppercase and lowercase. I told you there are lots of methods. Let's just go ahead and see how a stripe works. So we can stripe a string when we have excessive space like this. So you can see this string contain an excessive space of character here, which is actually not going to be okay because how these guys are printed. So all these empty characters also are being printed on the screen buffer or on the terminal buffer. So to get rid of this kind of behavior, we can say print statement dot, then we can stripe it through. So stripe actually means that stripe out any unnecessary white space right there. So you see this guy that we actually stripe out, it works rather than just leaving this guy to do whatsoever they like. So for some reason I will just bring this back, so we can actually make ourselves as a stripe underscore string. So this is actually very important. There we can say statement dot stripe. So instead of, so we want to be using the, we have two strings now. In a nutshell, what I just did, that we have two strings. We won't be using any of these guys much more. Let's just do what is in my mind. So right here I can say print stripe string. So rather than just dealing with this guy, if I run it again, so everything is looking the same way. So I'm just going to comment this guy up like that. So there, that's up. Okay, if I run this again, this is the only string that I have. The one that have been striped is actually what I have. So this is actually a pure string that I can continue to work on with. So what if I want to get the length of this string? It's so easy to get the length of this string. I can just say, okay, the length of my string is, so deal with this, though we can just call the function length. So the function length actually works like len, and that's all. Then we're going to pass whatsoever variable we are trying to find the length. We're just going to put it inside it like that. So see it for a second. Let's run this. So it said the length of my string is 14. Thank you. Right, that's nice. We did that already. Let's do some other things on the string. So probably let's use the find to actually find a position of a particular string, of a particular statement or words inside a string. So we can find the position of love, I, or anything inside a string. So let's do it in a bit. So we can say print let's say stripe string dot find. So you can see it says this value prints the value to the stream or std by default, optionally to a file like that. So this is actually just giving us the what this guy is actually doing. So what are we looking for in a nutshell? Let's look for I, something like that. So let's see what we've got here from here. So it say I is actually located on position 0, and that is actually nice because I is truly located on position 0. Because if you have to view this variable right now, as a matter of fact, this is actually something like I love Python. What's that? Python. Rather than just having this kind of excessive space, no. So it's actually having it in the right form or order like this. So to get this code much cleaner, because to me it's actually looking really weird right now, I'm just going to get off this. So turn it to a real string, since we already have the idea of so instead of making this really weird, so okay, so let's forget about this guy so that we won't get confused. Alright, that's nice. Okay, string is not defined, sorry, that's my bad. I didn't forget to clear it off. So let's run this again. So we said the length of I is 0. Let's look for love. Definitely it's going to be 0 1 2. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be 2. And this is how I get to know that the value is going to be 2, because computer actually don't start from counting from 1 2 3 4 blah blah the way human being does. We start counting from 0 1 2 3. That's how computer thinks, not really like us. So this is 0, the space is 1, the space between them is 1, then the L is 2, the 0 is 3, V is 4, E is 5. We can confirm this by just searching for only E. So you get the idea that E is actually 5. I'm correct. Okay, so another thing we can do, we can actually do lot on the string. So string dot again, let's say ones that are actually really make sense. We can split this it also. So we want to split this string on particular value. So when do we want to split this string? So I think they have space between them, so we can just really go ahead and split that on space like that. So by using space, so this is going to split the string and turn it into an array. So you get the idea. So the string actually turns into the list. If you remember, this I wrote the list the first time, because it splits it here, right from here, make this one part, then split it this one part. So it actually occurs whenever there is a space. So we can actually replace all this with comma to see the effect of this. If you go right here, instead of using the space, just put comma and it's still going to work. So you get the idea. So of what I'm saying. Okay, so there is string is actually accessible. We can just go ahead and access only this guy, or any other just kind of guy that we actually want to access. Let's put this back in the right way, please, for a second. Alright, that's nice. I just go ahead and say print the string on index of 0. So someone should actually guess what this one is going to print out for me. Obviously this is going to print out I only. Let's see, let's try. Of course I'm right. So we have I on the string of the on the screen. If we actually try to print out 1, so we know that that's going to be an empty space, so that's why it is empty. If you try to print out on 2, so that is actually it is L, and we can also try to print out on 3. Okay, let me just use 5. So we are expecting E. Okay, that works really great. There is actually a way to slice things up here. Maybe it's just only I love that I just want to cut off this Python. So far I know this result on 5, so I can just say okay, start from a 0 and split it to 5. So that is going to cut 5 away. You can see why we really need to increase that for the seconds. So you can see that actually cut away E also, so we need to put it on 6. So we are able to actually go ahead and slice this string. So it's ordinary I love that I have, so we're able to cut off the Python. That really looks good in a sec. Okay, another thing we can do is that we can, as we start from front, we can start from the back too. Or if we actually remove this, so this is going to imagine that we are starting from the beginning, so it's going to give us the same result. So we have the same results. It works so fine to me. Okay, so instead of having this like this, we can have it like, okay, print negative -1. So -1 actually is going to go out at the back of this string and print n back to us. So let's see, so we have n, so n is our -1. Then we can actually move like that. So okay, print from definitely -1 to probably -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So let's say -7. What brings to us? So that should only print only so minus, what's that? I think I get something wrong here. I didn't know. I think I was calculating that really nice. What's this? It's just printing an ordinary string. Casting, no, this is a string. Python 3 string. Okay, let's see what's up. 5 seconds right there. Alright, I actually know what is happening. That's because I'm starting from this, slicing it up in the wrong direction. So I can always just go ahead and do like this. Put out probably -7 that I actually want. Oh no, sorry, -7. Okay, then I'll partially start like this, so you get the idea. So yeah, that's it. I'm able to pull out the distance. So I will explain in a second, so I'm just losing my mind away. Yeah, so this is a -7, and actually start from -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, -7 right there. So that's why I'm having to evolve Python. Let me just put 6. I think I'm having an extra space being printed up here. Okay, so from 6 or -6, then I'm starting from -1, so which means I started from n, then down up there right there. so you can see it works fine. So this is actually some reason it's cutting off the this, let's say -0 for real. Is that really sounds nice? No, 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 it doesn't sound nice. So okay, you get the idea. So the empty space symbolizes the first start from the first elements in the from the back, and this is usually really working fine. So this is actually what we want to really take place. So this is basic, really look basic. It's just something to really remember. So let's just talk about the last one concerning string. So string dot replace. So string dot replace is actually very sensitive. So we actually want to replace something with something, isn't it? So let us say love with like. Okay, let's see what we've got. So definitely we are having a like Python right now, so we are actually able to replace love with Python. All right, so there is another thing I need to show you before I move on. So as I'm actually writing, it pump into my head, which is formatting. So I'll just create another string. So say name equals to, let's say this together, say my name is, then instead of just writing my actual name, so I'm just going to put ordinary curly parentheses like this. So when I want to print this out, I'm just going to say name.format, so the format of my name, and I'm going to put okay, Gabriel. So this is actually going to perform a lot of magic. You can see my name is Gabriel right here. So this is actually what I'm having right now. So my name is Gabriel. So what I did is that anytime you put a space like this, you actually use format. The same position is actually where you are going to actually have the value you put here. So if this is the first one, this is going to be whatever you want to put, the first must come first when you are using the format one. So let's just use something like probably I love, okay, I love, yeah, like that. So definitely I prefer C++ than Python, so I can just say it like this. So it's just my thing. I just love C++ than Python. My name is Gabriel. I love C++. So you see, if I actually change the position of this, probably I put Gabriel where C++ supposed to be and put C++ where it's supposed to be, it's just going to mess things up. So you get the idea of the formatting that I'm actually trying to talk about. Okay, I'm going to be feeling guilty if I actually don't show you this, which is also very important too. So which is actually how you can escape characters. So for example, okay, let me print anything here. If I actually want the name to be in a quote, right? So to be in a quote, I'm just going to put by splash followed by this, then splash followed by this, so you get the idea. So if I run this again, you can see this is actually being a quotes now. I can use double quotes like that too, but it's not just for your best and a good practice. So these are actually called an escape characters. So I can use a code. If I actually want to put a tab right here, I can just do it like this. So automatically you are going to see I love having a tab. So you can see it's actually having an extra tab right here. So instead of just having ordinary space, it's having an extra tab. What if I want to put the on a new line? I can just use /n, then this actually comes into a new line. So you get the idea. I say this actually comes to a new line. This is having a kind of space right there, is coming to a new line. So there are really a lot of method on the string. So these are the ones that my time can actually pertain. I don't want to be junking the course too much. Alright, see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.